This is the Dallas Morning News.
Eat, Drink, DFW from the Dallas Morning News is made possible by Central Market.
North Texas food fans, it's time for another episode of Eat, Drink, DFW from the Dallas Morning News. Every week, our food staff loves to dig into the local restaurant scene, talk about food and drink trends, and those things that make North Texas, North Texas. This is Anna Butler. I'm the News' food and events editor and your podcast host. It's hard to believe it's been officially fall for a few weeks when it's still in the 90s outside, but we're talking about our top fall things to do in North Texas. And it should be no surprise, they're all food focused. We'll also be talking about the latest update when it comes to Michelin's entry into the state. So stick around, you won't want to miss this.
Central Market is really into food. Like when we say cheese, it's in 12 languages into food. Butchers, bakers, and sushi roll makers into food. We're talking so obsessive about quality you could shop blindfolded into food. Central Market is really into food. If you are too, then let us turn your shopping list into a treasure map. Get inspired, get adventurous, or just get a chef-made dinner when you've got more taste buds than time. No place makes every meal more amazing like Central Market. Really into food. Shop now at centralmarket.com.
And we're back for the latest food and restaurant news. Visit dallasnews.com/food. And we'd love to hear from you. If you have any food questions, a need for restaurant ideas, and more, reach out to us by visiting dallasnews.com/askeatdrink. Today, I'm joined by food writers Sarah Blaskovich, Claire Baller, and Imelda Garcia. Hi, guys.
Hi.
Hey, Anna.
Guys, I brought a snack. Is anybody hungry
Always.
for something outrageous?
Always.
Well, I brought, it's called Shackalicious XL Gummies. Have confirmed with the publicist that these are simply sugar gummies, not the other kind of gummies. And I bought them at the grocery store. They are gummies with Shaq's face on them, smiling. And there's peach, berry punch, and orange. And I just thought maybe while we chatted, we needed to try a little gummy Shaq face.
Is this a Shack sanctioned snack? That was hard to say.
That's such a good phrase. I believe so. I think he was in on having these gummies made.
I feel like it'd be weird if you
Yeah, I feel like lawsuit.
Oh my gosh. I just pulled one out. First of all, the gummies are bigger than you think they should be. They're like the size
They're
of the
XL.
length of my thumb. And second of all, Shaq got like wrinkly in these guys.
Aww. Well,
His face is smushy.
He's technically sometimes a North Texas resident. I'm fishing out one of every color.
This is why I'm glad you brought that up, Anna. It's why I bought them. It's because I thought he's sort of a local celebrity without being actually local, but he does have at least one home here.
Yeah.
And I was just like, well, we probably need those.
Imelda, do you not like gummies?
No, yeah, I do, but I think it's a weird face. It's like,
Face. Look at
I
this
know.
one.
Yes, how does he look? A little
Yeah.
squished.
Yeah.
It's a little like if Shaq was a pug.
yeah,
Oh
and
my gosh, yes.
Maybe that's a spirit animal.
Oh, they're really, really soft.
Yes. They're not as like bounce back as the like Haribo gummies.
They don't have a lot of rebounds to them.
Well, no, they don't. They really.
You nailed that. It was so good.
I love food buds.
Me too.
they are all over my teeth now.
Look, they stretch.
Mhm.
I was like, I'm stretching it like
Wow.
a pizza
Yeah,
pie. His face is still on it though when I do that.
Shaquille O'Neal did not sponsor this podcast and has nothing to do with this, but I just thought, why don't we snack on these while we talk about
Snack on
important
Shaq.
topics?
But if he wanted to be on our podcast, he's welcome to. He
Call
can
us.
also fill out the dallasnews.com/askeatdrink form
There you go.
to get involved. Okay. So this week we're going to delve into our fall musts for food in North Texas, and some of it's also events. But you know, we just came off of our great state fair episode. It was so fun rating everything, and all of us have been back to the fair since then. I would love some hot takes, Imelda.
It's very expensive. I spent one evening talking with people. I spoke with 3 families, and all of them were like, "This is crazy expensive," and they were spending like $200 per hour. And
Wow.
they have to save a lot of money for a lot of weeks to go to this great event, and they were happy. I mean, they love the fair, but yeah, it's really expensive. I don't know. What did you find when you were there?
So I went this past weekend and yeah, it's always expensive. You always have to kind of brace yourself or like go in with a really strategic plan. And there are ways that you can do it. You know, once you get past the parking And if you pay to park, I mean, there's also public transit options. But once you get past the parking and your ticket entry, there are ways that you can do it more cheaply. This year I got smart and I packed a ton of water.
Mm.
I have not done that well in years past and been annoyed at like the amount of money I've shelled out for water because it's always hotter than you think.
Yeah.
Always. So this year brought a ton of water, did not have to buy any, and realized that there is a fill station, an actual water bottle fill station, which I don't know if that's new this year. They've been hard to find before. I've never found one before.
We couldn't find one when we were recording the podcast. Where is
Mhm.
it?
Okay, so there is this really colorful bathroom. I feel like this is truly a good hot tip, and now everyone's going to know about it. But there's a colorful bathroom in the midway, like by the kids' rides, that has water, like drinking fountains and water refill stations. And the bathrooms inside have like ice cold air conditioning.
Mm.
Like, you know how you go into the buildings at the fair and you're like, okay, I'm out of the sun. There's like some airflow, but this is not a reprieve from the
Yes.
heat.
Yes.
I went and just stood in these bathrooms for a while because it was so nice. But there is a place where you can refill water. So I think that's one small way to save some money is to bring your own drinks, which you can as long as they're not in glass and they're not alcohol. And then you can bring food. Like you could bring as much food as you want to the fair.
Yeah.
Like you'll see some families that bring coolers. Now, we would argue that probably the best reason to go to the fair is the food. So definitely encourage people to try food there if you can. But, you know, you can save quite a bit by bringing your own snacks to eat in between.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, you can make some sandwiches and get to eat them and then get to enjoy also the fried food and everything as a snack or as a shareable. Claire, water near the bathroom? I don't know. I have my doubts.
No, it's good water. It's like a refill, like the water bottle refill stations that you see at the airport or such. They are kind of new to us here in Texas. In other parts of the country, these are pretty widespread everywhere. I wish that we saw more of that.
Yeah.
I was glad to see at least 2 that I could find at the fair. I would love to see more of them in the future at the fair, but I recognize that they probably make a good amount of money
Yeah.
off the water bottles that they sell. But no, good tip is like bring a refillable water bottle with some ice in it, and you'll be good to go.
Yeah, I went to the fair on Sunday just to revisit a singular dish, which was the hot chicken pancake poppers, and I was still very happy with them. That was my favorite one of the week when we tried them last week. But
And it held up?
it held up. I was like,
Great.
it was really fantastic. But Claire, did you re-experience anything that we taste tested?
I also went back for the pancake poppers. And one of the critiques that, I don't know if it was a critique, but one of the notes that I think it was Everton gave, our colleague Everton, for those pancake poppers was that he wished there was more pimento cheese in them. Mine had more pimento cheese, a lot more than there was when we tried them that first day. So I don't know if that will be consistent throughout. Was it the same for you?
It was exactly the same for me. I felt like they listened, they took notes because I love pimento cheese, but like in terms of a binder, it wasn't like as much loose chicken. It was still my favorite, like loose chicken. Loose chicken.
Yeah, that was good. I also had the Nutty Bar Alaska again. That I got 2 bites in and I was like, okay, I still appreciate this, but I'm tapping out. And I don't know, it was like the end of the day for me. It was a lot. Also, I will say the marshmallow cream went on this time like maybe twice as thick as it did last time. And that is significantly more saccharine than it was
Yes.
before.
And stickier too on
Yeah.
your like hands, mouth. all of it.
Everything.
I will say I went back and got the Russo's cotton candy bacon again. It was the first thing I ate on Sunday morning that wasn't a pot of berries, and it was crispier this time,
Mm.
which was great. And there was so much more cotton candy. I don't know, proportion wise, I was more pleased with this, but I still second Britain's. I want a little bit more bacon with my bacon. Like the salty is what I want. Like maybe like a sprinkle of Maldon salt this time. I actually have like this little Altoid looking like container that I keep Maldon salt in my purse.
In your
And
purse?
I
Oh my
whip
gosh.
it out and I salt food, and it's rude. But it's also passive aggressive. And I'm like, I hope you saw that because you've got some seasoning issues here. But I didn't bring it to the fair.
That's great.
I had such a wonderful time at our taste test, and I love that we do the podcast there every year. I love to eat the food, and it's a side project of mine. I feel like State Fair food has become part of my personality. So, of course, I was going to love to hear that you guys went back and liked the things that we already liked. I want to point anybody interested to Sharon Grigsby's story about her day at the State Fair. Um, she says the State Fair is Dallas's big gift to all Texans, natives and newcomers, and you'll leave with your joy tank full. And so there are people who don't like the fair. There are people who specifically don't like the fair food, and that's all fine. But I loved to see our city columnist, Sharon Grigsby, go and experience it. And I think she just had such sort of unbridled, childlike joy at the fair. And that just warms my heart. The story is anchored by a picture at the top of Sharon on what looks like the pirate ship, the thing that swings up way high. And her hands are in the sky like she's a teenager and she's like yelling with happiness. So that's just one snapshot of what I think the State Fair can bring you, and perhaps go on the pirate ship first and then have your chicken poppers.
Yes, you should definitely not eat the chicken poppers first. Okay, so we're going to pivot back to what we're calling a fall food bucket list. Claire's put a lot of thought into this in the way that she even wrote a story about it. So we do want to hear about some of your highlights, but you can read the whole thing online at dallasnews.com/food.
Okay, so in explanation, this is something that I do for myself always and have for a long time, for kind of every season. I like to kind of write down, and I will actually write it down, a list of things that I would like to do that season before the weather changes again. And of course, they're pretty much always food centric. And I was sitting and thinking about, like, where did this come from? Like, why did I really start doing this? And I think it's because I'm from Arizona, as you guys know, a land with not many seasons. And so you have to kind of get creative for how you start feeling the fall spirit or the Christmas spirit or whatever it is, in a place where the weather's not really driving that change for you. And so for me, it's so tied into taste. And so I thought this year, okay, why not just make this list for everyone rather than just for myself like I do every year? So I put together this list of a handful of things that I plan to do this year to really embrace the season and take advantage of the hyper seasonal flavors and ingredients that we'll see in these next few months. And there's kind of a little bit of everything in here. Speaking of the State Fair, that's obviously on the list. And I now get to check that one off, which I literally have check marked it off in my own personal list. And there's, like I said, there's a little bit of everything in here. There's like grabbing fall pastries at La Casita. If you know La Casita Bake Shop in Richardson, they have quite a lot going on. They now have coffee shops. Sarah just wrote about the newest one opening at Half Price Books on Northwest Highway. Their owner and head baker, Marixa Trejo, loves fall, loves Halloween, and she goes all out with her pastries. I think it's a really fun place to go if you are the kind of person who would go get weekend pastries anyway, to go grab some that are really, really hyper seasonal and really creative. There's something in here for pumpkin spice lovers. I know is controversial, pumpkin spice, but to me, I'm like, look, I think there are ways that even pumpkin spice haters could kind of get into it. And I think the best way to do that is to go local and find people who are making their own pumpkin spice syrups. And when I went looking for some here, I actually found some really cool options. So if you guys know Apothecary, of course, on Lower Greenville, fantastic cocktail bar. Sarah, you wrote about it when it first opened. I found out they have a quote unquote secret off menu drink that is a pumpkin spice latte.
With booze in it?
If you want.
Or also not?
Also not.
Okay.
If you don't want. If you want a non-alcoholic cocktail, they'll make it without booze. So it's like fully looks like a latte. So that's one option that you can do, like on a date night type thing, or if you want alcohol. But then there's also like Fount, Board and Table in Uptown. They make their own pumpkin spice syrup, so you can get that added to any drink. I talked to a barista there. Her recommendation is to get a pumpkin chai. And this is her personal order. She orders a chai latte, adds the pumpkin spice syrup, which sounds lovely.
Delicious.
Yeah. So I am curious to know from you guys, what are things, if there is anything that is a must do for you in the fall, or maybe not even a cognizant must do, but you just end up doing this thing every fall. Imelda, what about you?
For me, it's cake season because we have a lot of birthdays in my family.
Okay.
At least 3 in October, so it's 3 different cakes. And even if we get together to celebrate, to make a great celebration for all of 3, it's 4 cakes that month. So it's really, really, it's cake season for me. So I love to go to cake bar for the hummingbird cake. It's amazing, and I love to go to San Martin Bakery also for the strawberry one. It's amazing, and I also love the one that sell in El Rancho. They sell a great, great chocolate cake. So
Okay.
I love it. So that's for me. And you know me, and this is the time when I start to thinking about Christmas. Yeah. So
I hope
yeah.
so.
So what about you, Sarah?
Fall means football season for me, which comes with eating and drinking, as we've talked about on previous podcasts, but is more just a calendar ritual. It means that Saturdays are busy. We're often out of town watching one or both of our football teams play. But we always try to make sure that one of those weekends that we're not out of town coincides with Chefs for Farmers, which I think is certainly one of the best food festivals in DFW, period, but certainly a calendar item for fall specifically. And Chefs for Farmers has a lot of different events, but the one I love is the main event, which is usually on a Sunday afternoon. And it is coming up. The date is November 3rd. Now, Chefs for Farmers is one of those more expensive food festivals, but I do think it is the one if you wanted to pick one and splurge on the $145 for a ticket. It is the first time I had Burger Schmurger and lost my mind over how good this burger was. And then that led to months of loving this burger shop and writing about it and researching it. It is the first time I had Chef RJ Yoakum's food. I hadn't been to Georgie yet, but he was at Chefs for Farmers serving a soup that I just walked away from and thought, whoa, what is that? And then he won Chefs for Farmers. So for food people, it is a great way to connect with other food people, but also to talk one-on-one with chefs who are actually at their booths and who are serving really incredible food at what otherwise is sort of a casual walk around atmosphere. So that's what I'd say I look forward to most in the fall.
So I actually put Chefs for Farmers on this list for 2 reasons. One, because I've heard you talk about it and I've read about it and it sounds so great. And 2, because I've never gone.
Oh, yes.
And it's on my list to do this year. So I'm going this year.
Yes.
And I'm really looking forward to it. Sarah, for those who, like me, have not gone, what can you describe what that main event day is like?
Yes. So it's at Old City Park. And so it's an all outdoors event, and you walk table to table, and each table has an explanation of what the dish is, either above or below the table. And there are a host of chefs behind every table just shelling out little bowls or plates full of delicious, beautiful food. This is not the time for a simple something. I mean, everybody is making a stunning 1 or 2 bite dish. It is like the State Fair, Claire, one of those things where you want to save your fork because you eat 20 different of these little bites. But it is amazing as a non-professional cook to watch what people can do like in a park. And there's more food than you could possibly eat, also more wine and more beer and more non-alcoholic drinks. And so that's the other thing is you get a certain way down the road to this table, that table. And then you're like, I'm going to have to start making some tough decisions. And there's long lines for the ones that are really good. And if you're like me, I want to get in that line. I will wait longer to make sure I try that thing because people are kind of losing their minds over it. It is just a meeting of the minds of people who really love food. And it is such a geeky, cool couple of hours.
I'm really looking forward to it. And I'm looking forward to checking it off on my list, of course. Anna, what about you? What are some of your fall must-dos?
I will say I lean into the pastry one that you mentioned. Like you go to La Casita, you embrace pumpkin spice. White Rock Coffee, as an East Dallas dweller, is somewhere that I go often, and they do a countdown clock for all of their fall menu items. But there's one that has always stood out to me, and that is their pumpkin scone, which I brought one of today. Something has changed. It's not good, but it used to have royal icing on it, and now it's what they're calling a caramel glaze, but it's toasted pecans, and it's just more pumpkin-y. It's not like crazy sweet. It is different this year. Um, and that's not dismay. It's just I don't know why they changed it.
Yeah, why mess with a good thing?
Yeah, I don't know, but I was like, it's one that they are very much known for, and they do like a preview event every July of like what's coming that autumn.
Oh,
Like
that's funny.
it's really, yeah. I was like, it's fun. If you love coffee, theirs is also very strong and very good. Too. One other food event that's coming up this year that is new, so it's harder to put on a bucket list because we don't know what to expect yet. Though is it's spelled chef but with an S, like she, from Tiffany Dairy, and I was like, that's coming up in November, right?
Yes.
It is, yeah. And this will be Chef Tiffany Dairy's first food festival and kind of the first food festival like it in Dallas. I mean, Tiffany Dairy is a very well-known TV chef and is very well connected because of that. So she is kind of assembling this powerhouse team of chefs from around the country and really focusing on chefs from around the country at this food festival. And she and I had a phone call about this, and she explained why we're not seeing local chefs here who will be kind of on display at this festival. And that's because she really wanted to make this festival for the restaurant community here to come to and get to enjoy and network and not be on the clock, not be expected to stand there and shell out food, to actually have an event that they can come to and really gain a lot from, not just restaurant exposure.
So do you eat at Chef?
Yeah.
Okay.
It sounds like it will be similar, like a main event day, like Chefs for Farmers, and that it will have a few days of activities before that, and the ticket pricing will change depending on if you're looking to do all of it or just that main day, and be same kind of approach of tables and booths with small plates.
It sounds like it could be distinctive enough if you wanted to try to do both if your budget allows for it. I think one of my favorite things that happened at Chefs for Farmers last year for me, and it happens at every food and wine festival I've ever gone to. I covered them for a long time, about 10 years ago. But there's always spontaneous dance parties when the right amount of wine has hit with the live music.
Yes.
And I'm hoping the same thing can be said for Chef.
I'm sure she said there's going to be really good live music, and I'm sure she'll deliver on that. This is fun because it is the weekend after Chefs for Farmers. So if you're the kind of person who likes this kind of thing, you can 1-2 punch it here and have 2 really great back-to-back weekends of good food and just being around really cool people in the restaurant industry.
I also think both of these festivals and actually your personal recommendations, guys, on what you like to eat and cook during the fall can also serve as inspiration for everybody listening for what we're going to be cooking later in the season. What do you make for your family at the holidays? What do you make when out of town friends come and stay at your house? Anna, maybe this pumpkin scone offers inspiration. Maybe there's a dish from Chef Festival or from Chefs for Farmers that any of us decide that we can recreate at home. That's something we love to do. I'm a recipe cook for the most part. I do my best work when I'm following someone else's directions. And so when we find a dish that is really inspired, that is somebody else's creation, I think the most honorable thing I can do is try to recreate that in my own kitchen, but in the way they did it.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'll be looking around all season for what those ingredients are or what those dishes are. And we saw a little bit at the state fair too, that you want to take home or that you want to make that in your own way.
Speaking of Sarah, one of the things on this list for me is leaning into soup season. I'm the kind of person where right now I'm like counting down until it feels appropriate to make soup. It's just like still too hot for me. But Sarah, I found a story that you did a few years ago and linked to it in this for anyone like me who wants to also make their own soup at home this season. And in this story, which again, you can find linked in this bucket list on our website, you can find recipes for Chef Dean Fearing's tortilla soup and the Grapes mushroom soup, which are 2 that I'm really excited to make this year. I haven't made them before, and those are definitely on my list to make at home.
I think soup season is like the best thing ever. It signals that it's time to wear a sweatshirt indoors. Mm-hmm. And Like, there's nothing more comfortable to me than being inside my own home, it being a little crisp outside. You're wearing the sweatshirt. Maybe you're eating cream of mushroom soup that you've made yourself or something like it. But my husband Chase and I make a whole big deal out of soup season, and we get there a little bit earlier than first.
Yeah.
Because it's like when it's finally so hot, and then we even get 5 degrees reprieve. I'm like, should we have tortilla soup tonight?
Mhm. Yeah.
He makes a bunch of really great soups. And so we make a lamb mushroom orzo soup, like ground lamb that is just so like hearty and delicious with some beef stock in it. I make a butternut squash soup. I think I could live on soup and dip for
Yeah.
the day when I don't
Yeah.
have teeth. I'll be fine. No, I'm kidding. I hope I never lose my teeth, but I'm just learning. Apparently, I like bowls.
I will say, once we hit November, Chefs for Farmers, Chef the festival with an S, it should be cool enough for those things. But you want to know what? That like 10 to 14-day stretch right there is going to be incredible because we're going to roll from those food festivals straight into the announcement for the Michelin related restaurants. And it reminds me of what you were talking about, Sarah, with kind of getting that inspiration for the holidays. Well, getting reservations at these restaurants is going to be really tough, but we have a few more details now on when to actually expect the Michelin guide for Texas. And obviously, we're going to be there. We're going to be covering it. We're going to have every angle for you. You might want to preemptively make some reservations around the holidays too. But Sarah, can you tell us a little bit more about our recent findings that are very public and on our website at this time?
Yes, of course. The Michelin Texas guide will be announced November 11th. That is a Monday. And the announcement is taking place in Houston. I don't have the details yet, but I do believe that if you're not in that room, there will be a way to live stream or listen and know who is winning. But as I understand it, anyone who is invited to this event, and it's for hundreds of people in Houston, if you are invited and you are a restaurant owner, you will win something. So this is not like other award ceremonies where you get invited and then one of the 5 people at the table wins. Everyone there is a winner. They just don't know what kind. So please circle in red pen November 11th on your calendars. That night, of course, we will have information about which restaurants in Texas and most specifically in Dallas and Fort Worth will be honored. And we're looking at all kinds of honors. We're looking at stars. We're looking at Green Star, which is the environmental sustainability one. We'll be looking for Bib Gourmand and for recommended. And in general, what you can guess to be true is that any restaurant in DFW whose name is uttered during that event, that will be a hard place to get a seat. That will be famous for a very long time, whether it was or was not already. So to Anna's point, if you know where you want to have dinner later in November and it's a place that is maybe being looked at by Michelin, probably make those reservations now because after November 11th, everybody on this list is going to be very sought after.
I hope everybody that is invited, as you say, wins something because and now that you are saying it, so the people that are receiving the invitations, they are hopeful right now. I mean,
A lot of restaurant owners are waiting for that invitation. That's
Oh
what's
my God.
happening now, right? And then once the invitations land,
oh my God, what a stress!
yeah, that's right.
But if you get one, you're definitely getting something. It's supposed to arrive via email, right?
Email is what they
Oh
say.
no!
Because I
So
was like,
check your spam folder.
Yeah.
please.
and
do
I,
that.
before I knew it was email, I was thinking like, if you need to find your local chef, he's or she is standing by the mailbox. But it's an email situation. We know this now.
Sarah, I would really like to see one of North Texas restaurants, Mexican restaurants, to be a winner of this star. Do you imagine that for a Tex-Mex
Yes,
restaurant or
it would be
something like that?
huge.
It will be huge, yeah. And not only here, I mean, in the whole state, it will be great. Maybe a little taqueria like in Mexico City. We don't know. I mean, we can be surprised this year, I think.
I think that's what's extra thrilling about Michelin is it elevates the non-elevated food a lot of the time. So
Yeah.
you have dumpling shops and everything in between. And I think that hope of having a taqueria isn't crazy. I hope we have one in North Texas. We should definitely have one in the state of Texas. But I think we've talked about this so much, Imelda, too, just how regional Mexican food and Tex-Mex is within Texas alone. So the variety that we should see, I really hope that's reflected there.
Yeah, and I know of some places that are hoping right now. They are hoping to get a star or something.
Can you name names?
I can. Yeah, one of them is Mascara's Mexican Grill in Oak Cliff. It's a great restaurant, and they are hoping. I mean, they are praying for this. Come on, guys.
I know. Well, and on that note of hope, which is very exciting, especially going into the fall, which we're all absolutely thrilled about, that is all the time that we have for Eat Drink DFW this week. Again, you can reach out to us to share your food thoughts and questions by visiting dallasnews.com/askeatdrink and filling out the form on our website. We appreciate you tuning in, and we would love to hear from you. The show is produced by Billy Kidd. To catch up on every episode of this show and hear more from our newsroom, just follow the Dallas Morning News wherever you get your podcasts. And if you like what you hear, please rate the show and leave a review. Find links to all of our work at dallasnews.com/listen. You'll also find a special membership offer there just for listeners. For the news, I'm Anna Butler. Thanks for listening, and we hope to see you all again next week.
Eat, Drink, DFW from the Dallas Morning News is made possible by Central Market.